NASA gives up on Boeing Starliner and awards 5 new contracts for SpaceX and Elon Musk. The Starliner has been the mainstay for NASA over the years. It's been extensively used for most of its flights. However, in a turn of events, NASA has taken a change of route and opted for SpaceX awarding them an astounding 5 new contracts. Today we'll be talking about the details behind NASA leaving its trusted Boeing Starliner for SpaceX by awarding Elon Musk company 5 new contracts. These will change SpaceX's future. Why did NASA give up on Boeing? And most importantly, why did they award SpaceX these contracts? Stick around till the end of the video as we answer these questions. Without further ado, let's begin. Firstly, let's talk about how NASA relayed this breaking news before we head into the intricacies behind this new information. NASA has recently announced that it'll buy 5 more new Crew Dragon seats from SpaceX to transport people to the International Space Station. The additional missions will provide redundancy and backup capability for the ISS until 2030. Despite the fact that NASA's press release does not directly state it, these could be the final missions needed to keep the space station staffed until 2030. Until then, there is no explicit international agreement to keep the station flying. But this fresh acquisition sends a strong signal that the space agency intends the orbital outpost to remain operational for that long. According to the statement, SpaceX will spend more than twice as many crews to the space station as NASA's other commercial crew partner, Boeing. SpaceX will perform 14 crewed missions on the Crew Dragon, and Boeing would fly 6 during the station's lifetime under the new deal. Let's have a look at the numbers. Since the launch of the Crew 1 on November 15, 2020, SpaceX has conducted 4 operational human missions to the station. SpaceX has 2 additional flights under its original crew contract with NASA, and NASA issued fixed-price contracts to SpaceX in February 2022 for the Crew 7, Crew 8, and Crew 9 missions. With the current statement, there will be a total of 14 Crew Dragon missions. NASA expects to employ any SpaceX missions as early as 2026 to assure dissimilar redundancy, maintain safe space station operations, and give each business time to iron out any unforeseen challenges that may surface as private industry builds operational excellence with these new systems. NASA's only licensed commercial crew transportation supplier is SpaceX. In the spring of 2023, the business will fly 6 NASA rotational missions. Furthermore, NASA continues to advocate for a Russian cosmonaut to fly in the next space mission. The ISS's Houston-based programmer, Joe Manabano, said he's looking forward to the seat swap because it'll help reinforce a collaboration that's been strained by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. "I'm pushing," he said. "I think it's the right thing to do, just because it's happened with similar vehicles, but we'll have to see." To be fair, SpaceX's Dragon has made a significant contribution to this endeavor. What about the Starliner from Boeing? It has not yet flown on a mission that is fully functioning to the station. In May, the business finished an uncrewed test flight that was completed with a high degree of success. In the future, it's likely that Boeing will finish a crewed flight test of a Starliner by the end of the year or maybe early in 2023. After that, the company will fly its first operational trip sometime in 2023, or potentially later if problems are detected during the crewed test flight. Boeing's orbital flight test 2 went very well, and we hope to be able to certify the Starliner system in the near future, said Phil McAllister, Director of Commercial Space at NASA. So, are you guys enjoying the video? Here comes another challenge. Will SpaceX need to put in place extra missions for their projected plan? How many more missions does it need? What are the issues regarding this? Before we answer these questions, consider subscribing to the channel to receive similar content. On the other hand, will it require extra missions from SpaceX in order to put our plan into action, which entails having each commercial provider perform alternating missions once each year. The procurement of additional Starliner flights will not be announced by NASA until further notice. Considering that Boeing has not yet completely demonstrated the capabilities of the Starliner with the crew on board, this seems to be a smart move. Nevertheless, given the number of announcements made this week, it now appears to be plausible that there are no future crewed missions to award to Boeing. Why? Mainly due to the fact that NASA only intends to conduct 2 crewed space missions per year with a total of 8 astronauts aboard each mission. 10 extra missions would be contracted out to SpaceX, while Boeing already has 6 missions in its books. If it is decommissioned in the year 2030, the space station still has 8 years of useful life left in it. Despite the fact that there's always a possibility of additional changes being made with these contracts, it would appear that NASA has booked all of the rides it requires for the station's existence into 2030. This does not necessarily mean that there will only be 6 crewed missions flown by Starliner. Boeing has given indications that it intends to utilize the vehicle for private astronaut journeys, most likely to commercial space stations that are in the process of being developed. For instance, Boeing is collaborating with Blue Origin on the development of their orbiting Reef space station. However, it is important to keep in mind that Boeing is also facing significant constraints. At this time, the only rocket capable of carrying Starliner into space is the ULA Atlas V rocket. As a result, Boeing has only secured enough launches to finish its initial 6 operational Starliner trips for NASA before the Atlas V rocket is permanently decommissioned. The NASA Flight Safety Advisory Council expressed worry about the potential impact that delays in the construction of Starliner could have on the availability of Atlas V in the meeting that was scheduled for May 12th. Any further delays with Starliner launches would exacerbate this concern, says David West, a member of the panel, especially adding that certifying Vulcan for crewed launches would take years. In addition, during a pre-launch briefing held on May 17th, NASA and ULA officials stated that all of the remaining Starliner missions that are under contracts, such as CFT and the 6 post-certification missions, will continue to be launched on Atlas V, regardless of the timeline. From a resource perspective, we have measures in place to protect the talent and to ensure we retain the critical skills to be able to fly an Atlas as late as we need to, said Gary Wendt, Vice President of Government and Commercial Programs at ULA. We're in conversations with Boeing and other customers for that capability. However, even at a rate of 1 mission per year, and assuming there are no other buyers for Starliner, the stock of Atlas vehicles will be depleted far before the ISS is scheduled to be decommissioned in the year 2030. We would look forward to the end of the decade to award other flights or have other flights potentially for Boeing, said Steve Stitch, NASA Commercial Crew Program Manager. We would look for a new system, he said. NASA would support human rating a new system when Boeing and ULA are ready. Moreover, Wendt stated that around 90% of all Centaur hardware is already flying on Atlas V, which will simplify any human rating procedure. However, ULA has not revealed any intentions to human rate Vulcan. The emergency detection system that is now on Atlas will be transferred to Vulcan. This system notifies the spacecraft of any problems with the rocket to activate its abort system. He stated this will be one of the most significant changes. He also mentioned that human rating would be implemented for the BE-4 engines that are utilized in Vulcan's first stage. Whatever might happen in the end, it is certain that the fact SpaceX is awarded these contracts will surely propel the space industry even further. No one can match the innovation of SpaceX under the brilliance of Elon Musk. So, what do you think regarding the fact that NASA has given up on Boeing Starliner and has awarded 5 new contracts for SpaceX? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to watch more of our amazing videos, then stay tuned.